Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. I am Ashu Abey Samuel, a student of chemical engineering, and actually I am in second sem, and I am really I feel privileged to have the opportunity to have this moment with you, and I am conscious I'm talking to Professor Dr. Dharmendra Mandaliya. I really feel very privileged. I would like to actually begin by asking what do you consider are your particular strengths about you? What makes you the renowned person you are?
I would say I'm not necessarily renowned, but the strength that I have, I will say, my firm grounding in the basic principles of chemical engineering, specifically mass transfer, heat transfer, flex engineering. And I see these things not only from the perspective of ordinary engineers, I see these things from the perspective of a mathematician. And I firmly believe that every subject is a kind of maths. It's an applied maths. So it's not a chemical engineering subject, but it's an applied mathematics. And I have developed my skills in softwares, in mathematics, and its application into chemical engineering. So that is one of my best strengths, I will say.
Thank you very much, sir. It's really impressive. So I would also like to know, what are your current research interests, and how do you intend to use this research interest to impact your environment positively?
So my current research interest is in chemical reaction engineering, as we say it. It's called modeling and simulation of reactors also. Yes, I have done my doctoral work in reactor engineering, which was actually an industrial work with renowned company in India, and it has been widely accepted for modeling of the industrial reactors at that particular company. So that way I was able to make an impact in technical terms to this. Also, my research interest includes as I told you, firm background in software development. So we are also writing a couple of specific packages which can be used by industries as well as academic faculties for utilizing into their task. And other way impact that I am trying to create, I am very much into the social engineering and I will say entrepreneurship development with the students. I am currently heading that section also at the institute, where students, those who are having their own idea, they can come up and they can actually start their own startup company. That way I'm creating a little bit of social impact also.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as a high-profile, vibrant professor of your status, I would like to know, how do you adjust your teaching style, in case of those less motivated or underprepared students? How do you adjust your teaching style to help them really survive it?
Yeah. So as far as teaching is concerned, we have been actually trained to tackle all type of students in a class. But specifically my style, if I talk, what I do generally, I know that in a given class size, those who really they are interested, they will go through, otherwise also. So 50% of the students, I don't have to even take care about the pedagogy and all these things. They will pick up. But rest of the students, as you are saying, less motivated. So my style is to get in personal touch with the students. In a sense, while in the class, I will just ask what's your problem, where you are standing. The rest of the class students are doing. He or she will be stopped at one point. And I firmly feel that if I can make sure that he or she has crossed that point, they will be again mixed with the mainstream. So I just specifically search where in the class, those students, those who are not with the mainstream, can I bring them back? I will just go to his or her bench. I will see their notes where they are lacking. Sometimes the problems are certain kind of disabilities in terms of the person sitting at the last bench might not be able to see what you are writing on the board, and he will not be able to follow. So I also try to remove that as far as possible. And those who are having real difficulties, we are trained to that, to address that depending on the cases.
Thank you, sir. So actually, you are a highly respected professor with very in-depth knowledge in chemical engineering, and I would like to know, like, what is your vision of the chemical engineering field? Like, where do you think this field would be in the next 6 years to come?
Yeah, I will say 6 years is very short time frame to forecast the future of engineering, chemical engineering. But I will say in next 20 years, this field will be more into nanoscience, nanotechnology, biotechnology, and biochemical engineering. It will also enter into the medical sciences, and you will see more and more effect, more and more applications of chemical engineering into environment or solving global problems like carbon dioxide sequestration, global warming, food productions. So the same fundamentals applies to wider social problems. And till date, even though it has been used to create fertilizers and the thing, petroleum is again our message, but I will say you will find chemical engineering principles, right, of particular chemical branch will divert, or it will be able to absorb these new frontiers in next 20 years or so. There are other fields also which I can mention, but I think this is where it will go more: biotechnology, nanotechnology, multi-scale and multi-disciplinary research. Right? That is where we are heading actually.
Okay, sir. Wow, great, sir. Really, really great, sir. And then, sir, I would like to, last but one question, I would like to know, based on the competitive nature of, let me say, the ME courses, let me say the MSc courses in the Ivy League colleges like the MIT, the Harvard, who need a lot of students that have very strong research strengths. Now, like for a BE student in engineering, what would be like your advice, like on the best time to develop research skills? I don't know, maybe first year, second year, third year.
Yeah, it's a tricky question actually to answer, because we have seen that our students trained in last 12-13 years. Everybody have their own pattern to evolve. I can classify the students into 3 or 4 patterns. First thing is those who directly go for research. B, no industrial experience, no jobs, nothing. Immediately they will opt for research. So that is first, I will say. Another kind of students are those who they will complete their B. They will stay in the mainstream chemical engineering. They will join, let's say, larger chemical companies, and then they will serve that company for 4-5 years, and then they will go for master. So that is second kind of students, I will say. So B, then a break of 4 or 5 years, and then join for master. Third category of the students is like those who are having very clear-cut vision. I want to directly go from B to ME to directly PhD. So this kind of students are also there. So very less, but 1% I will say. So they will go for integrated courses master and PhDs in IITs and even outside of India, US and UK and Australia. And the last type of students, I will say, those who are not at all interested in research, where mostly 50% of the students falls into that category. So they will not opt for master degree. They will say, we have done our bachelor's, we have our BE chemicals, and then they will go into jobs, their own businesses, or further study in management or into related fields, other fields. So these are the four category of the students. And the best thing for a student, we cannot generalize it. It depends on students' own aptitude, his or her own choice, his or her own family backgrounds, etc., or his or her own interest into the research. But those who go into research, they are doing well. They all do well, basically, I will say. And those who are going into research, after getting this experience of 4 and 5 years into industries and then going into research, they can do much better than what those who directly go into the field, research field, they can do. So because they have that experience of industries with them, and they know what is required to be done at the research level. So it's a case-to-case basis things, I will say. You cannot generalize, but yeah, these are the 4 or 5 categories where our students are going. And as far as Ivy League institutes are concerned, I will say out of the total number of students that I have taught, only 4 or 5 might have been able to enter into the top 10 or top 20 institutes in US. But those who enter, they enter purely based on their own excellence in engineering or in that particular entrance exam that they have to give. So I will say there is no, I will not say there is no role, but it's a personal penchant for achieving that particular Ivy League status. That helps students into getting into the Ivy Leagues. Not the type of it will help. Whatever we are teaching, that will be always applicable. Right? And as their programs are more industry interfaced, at the front of the knowledge and widely accepted, so naturally they can do well compared to our students, those who enter into that.
Thank you so much, sir, for throwing much light into this. It's a very pertinent issue. Thank you so much, sir. So, lastly, I would like to know, what do you consider to be one of your greatest achievements, and why? In case of maybe any international publications, national publications.
Yeah, great to see to come actually. We are on to that. We are writing that paper. If it is accepted, I will consider that as the greatest. But till date, if I have one international publication in chemical engineering science, so I consider that as my greatest achievement, that I am able to publish in an international peer-reviewed journal, which has been peer-reviewed by the best chemical engineers in the world.
Oh, thank you so much. So it's been really a wonderful time, sir, talking with a chemical engineer of great standing like you. So thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it was a great interview with Dr. Dharmendra Mandaliya. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.